Hello, welcome to the Mythology Manifest. In my last few videos I have been telling the myths surrounding the hero Theseus, who was probably the son of Poseidon, including his journey to Athens and then to Crete where he killed the half-man, half-bull monster called the Minotaur. In this video I want to talk about a character in that myth who is often pushed into the background, but is actually key to Theseus' victory over the Minotaur, and that is the daughter of Minos and Pasiphae, the princess of Crete, Ariadne. I hope you enjoy it. So Ariadne was a princess of Crete, and one of the 9 children of Minos and Pasiphae. I think in order it went Acacalus, Androgeus, Deucalion, Ariadne, Glaucus, Zenodice, Catreus, Phaedra, and then Asterion the Minotaur. So she was somewhat of a middle child, and in most historical writings she's forgotten about, and is also forgotten about quite a lot by her parents and even her siblings. So when the strange Prince Theseus arrived on her shores of Crete, she was incredibly pleased and knew an adventure was waiting for her. She managed to sneak through the palace in Knossos to the cave where Theseus and the other Athenians were being forced to sleep for the night. She found the sleeping Theseus and woke him up, and she told him that she had fallen in love with him and that she would help him defeat the Minotaur if he married her and took her away from Crete. Theseus agreed to this. Now, I'm not one myself to believe in love at first sight, which is why I'm not a fan of Romeo and Juliet. It seems to be a story of infatuation, purely because I think love requires getting to know someone. This story is more like attraction at first sight, from Ariadne, who had never been away from Crete, probably hadn't met many men, and was probably desperate to get away. As for Theseus, he was probably attracted to Ariadne, as it was reported that she was incredibly beautiful. But I think it's a fair assumption to say that he agreed to marriage for 2 reasons. The first being that he had just woken up in the middle of the night and was probably disorientated and tired. And the second is that he needed help with defeating the Minotaur, and Ariadne was offering it, and so he would pay any price to get back home. Maybe that's just me being cynical, I don't know. But after Theseus agreed, Ariadne presented him with 2 helpful gifts. One was a ball of golden string. She said that it had been made for her by the god of fire and metalwork, Hephaestus. And the gods did her special favours because her mother was Pasiphae, who was the daughter of the sun titan Helios. Ariadne said that the string was enchanted, so it would keep growing, and that if Theseus tied it at the start of the labyrinth, it would help him find his way back if he traced it along the walls. The second thing that she gave to him was his father's sword, which had been confiscated by the guards upon his entry to Knossos. She told him he could use it to kill the Minotaur, and then she opened up the labyrinth and allowed Theseus to go in and hunt down the half-man, half-bull. So, if you think about this, Ariadne gives a man she had just met and decided that she loved a weapon to go into a labyrinth and kill her brother, which is incredibly harsh on a sibling, whether she liked him or not. But I do think she probably had a reason. I think that she cared about her brother and didn't think he was a monster. And she knew that he didn't choose to be born the way he was, and so she wanted to give him peace after years of him being trapped in a maze on his own and being given only humans to eat, as it was Minos decided that the Minotaur was a cannibal, not the Minotaur himself. He just ate because he was hungry. Anyway, eventually Theseus emerged from the labyrinth, slightly bruised, with his sword covered in the Minotaur's blood. He then woke up the other sleeping Athenians and led them and Ariadne back onto the ship they had arrived in Crete on. Then they sailed away. Ariadne was free. After a while of rowing, they stopped for a rest on the island of Naxos. On Naxos, Ariadne fell asleep on the soft sandy beach and awoke the next morning to find Theseus, the Athenians, and the ship gone. They had abandoned her on the island, which is why Ariadne is often known as Ariadne of Naxos, and not Ariadne of Crete, as she willingly left Crete. What she didn't know was that Theseus had left her at the request of the god of wine and festivities, Dionysus, who had been watching her for a while and wanted to marry her himself. After crying for a few hours, Ariadne began wandering around the island where she was approached by the god Dionysus. He didn't tell her that he had told Theseus to leave her, but instead he consoled her and held her until she felt better about being left on Naxos. They got to know each other on the island for a while, and eventually they fell in love with each other. And then they got married. When they were married, Dionysus made Ariadne immortal by making her goddess of labyrinths, mazes, and passion. And that is where Ariadne's story ends. Let me know what you think of Ariadne in the comments or on Twitter, which there is a link to in the description below. Do you think that she loved Theseus, or was it attraction and infatuation as I believe? And what do you think her reasons were for helping Theseus kill her brother the Minotaur? There is also a poll on my Twitter at the moment on whether you would like me to stick with Greek myths on my channel for longer or move on to Roman, Egyptian or Norse mythology. I would love to know your thoughts, so either let me know by voting on Twitter or telling me in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment or subscribe. I will be wrapping up my Theseus based videos with my next video on the goddess queen of Crete, Pasiphae. Let's keep classics alive. I will see you next time on the Mythology Manifest.